Hello there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is likely the only time that I'll be celebrating the BBC, and I'd like you to join in. But I don't mean our national broadcaster. Oh no, what I'm referring to is the Big Brexit Celebration. Firstly, as ever, please kick that YouTube algorithm up the rump by giving this video a big fat like. And I do generally upload at least one video every day, so please check back regularly. Now, there are plans coming out of number 10 for Brexit Day celebrations, but also growing doubt over the claim that the Big Ben bongs would really cost £500,000. Now, after 3.5 years of hard battling against vested interests and politicians that still think they know better than the general public on the subject of Brexit, it appears that the Prime Minister has opted for a rather low-budget, damp squib of a celebration to mark the moment the UK leaves the European Union. And to make it worse, he appears to have caved into claims, presumably coming from his officials, that it's too hard and too expensive to get Big Ben bonging in time for Brexit Hour. More on that one in a moment. Now, it's not like this is a bolt out of the blue minor event, is it? It's not like the government had a cabinet meeting a couple of days ago to get told that, oh, by the way, the UK leaves the EU at the end of the month, is it? It's been around for donkey's years. But at least Nigel Farage and Leave Means Leave have stepped up to the mark with a BBC for the people, a big Brexit celebration in London that night. And I do hope that this three-letter abbreviation for Big Brexit Celebration catches on, as taking the sacred BBC name in vain will irritate lots of Beebremoners, like Gary Lineker. Anyway, what does it look like we'll be seeing from the government side? Well, firstly, there's the newly minted 50p Brexit coins. Secondly, I hear that a digital countdown clock will be projected across the front of number 10. Thirdly, the Union flag will be flown from every flagpole around Parliament. And fourthly, the Prime Minister himself will make an announcement on the evening of the 31st of January, with a number 10 spokesperson saying about this. The Prime Minister will make a big address to the nation on the evening of our departure from the EU around the theme of healing. He is very keen to emphasise the continuing close bond of the Union between the four parts of the UK. While the Express reports that officials said the government wanted to mark what will be a significant moment in our history without a triumphalist tone that could exacerbate the divisions between the Remain and Leave supporters. I see. So Brexiteers are meant to be quiet and solemn while cuddling the weeping Remoaners who are barking insults at anyone who had the temerity to vote to leave the EU. Is that the idea? To forget the gloating, smugly victorious look on the face of Gina Miller, for example, as she stood outside the court after another anti-Brexit legal victory. I don't think so. Bringing in Brexit with a whimper is all that Boris offers. Where's the celebration? Where's the panache? Where's the elan? Where's the Boris energy and verve? Surely the nation needs the lift of Brexit buoyancy, not the dead weight of a remoaning anchor. Or is this how the Brexit negotiations will proceed going forwards? Well, we'll just have to wait and see on that one, won't we? Talking to Julia Hartley-Brewer on Talk Radio, the Brexit Party leader Nigel Farage claimed that if the government wanted to celebrate Brexit, then Big Ben would bong. But he said they were just embarrassed about Brexit, and he called the government response pathetic. Brexit Party MEP Anne Widdecombe gave her view on the lack of Big Ben bongs for the event, saying, "I am very disappointed that Big Ben isn't going to chime. This is because in all momentous occasions in British history, Big Ben has chimed. Whether you were for or against Brexit, this is momentous. This is something new and a new path for Britain. I think it should have been marked with chimes. But as it is, Downing Street is going to have a light display of a digital clock. Nigel Farage is going to have a party on Parliament Square, so I'm sure bongs will be recorded there. We will still be celebrating and marking something new." Now, before talking further about the Big Ben issue, I want to say a big thank you to my viewers and subscribers, and especially my donors, and you can find a link to Patreon and other donation services in the descriptions box and the first pinned comment below. Now to the supposed bill of £500,000 to enable the Great Bell, or Big Ben as it is nicknamed, to ring in the post-Brexit era for the UK. But first, did you know that Big Ben had its 160th birthday last year on the 11th of July? Now, in the last video I did on this subject, I reported that the projected cost to make the Great Bell ring for Brexit had mysteriously risen from £120,000 to £500,000, with the story being that contractors had provided the quote to civil servants. But as Big Ben had chimed several times on momentous events since the start of the Elizabeth Tower renovations in 2017, with the last being New Year's Eve less than 3 weeks ago, I said that questions on this and the costs involved on those previous occasions should be examined. And it turns out that the real cost had been in the region of £14,200. A fraction of the £500,000 claimed. And when this came to light, the figure suddenly shifted down to £320,000. And given that a Big Ben Bong crowdfund appeal has hit £250,000, then we're very nearly there. But something is amiss here, isn't it? Unless they've completely gutted the tower in the last couple of weeks. And when I looked at some of the reports about these renovations, it appeared to be the building and the clock that were being refurbed, not the bell itself. And further, an electronic system to ring the bell had been installed to cover the duration of the works. So either number 10's telling porkies or the civil service mandarins are, or else maybe the contractors are hoping to make a fast buck here. But if that last one were the case, it would show the ineptitude of our civil service, wouldn't it? But whatever the reasons for the Poundland approach to observing Brexit or the lack of chimes from Big Ben, it seems that it's up to us Brexiteers to go out and do it in style for ourselves. At the end of the day, the civil servants may have denied us a big Brexit bong, so it's fallen to us, the people, to make the celebrations go ahead. But does this seeming obstructionism really come as any surprise? Are we really shocked that the liberalised civil service that exists to protect itself would try and put a dampener on the celebrations to mark one of the greatest days in our nation's history? In fact, the non-ringing of Big Ben should stand as a historical reminder of the level of disdain that the liberal elitist establishment has for us and for democracy. So maybe we should all gather in public spaces across the country to observe a minute's silence to commemorate the lost years this nation has suffered at the hands of the EU. You can cancel our bongs, but you can't cancel Brexit. The civil service's further interference in the will of the people by muting the nation's bell will always be remembered as the day the Remainers in positions of power abused that power. So let's all congregate in our towns and give a moment's silence, then give out a lion's roar and let the celebrations begin. And as Brexiteer MP Mark Francois said, The Remainers can stay at home and watch Netflix if they like. So if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it. Anyway, what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.